Greetings to one and all. I am Nandini Upen Singh, co-founder of House of Nauras. I'm grateful to have with me today Mr. Mudit Jain. Mr. Mudit has been building at the intersection of gaming and immersive tech, along with community building before it was cool. So he's also a Unity certified game developer and founder of LETSBLEND. He's spoken at industry events and is now on a mission to help founders and brands build next-gen VR solutions. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
The pleasure is all mine. So we'll begin with a very narrative question because that's usually a big thing when it comes to any sort of game or story building. So is there a gap in the Indian gaming market for story-driven games rooted in Indian mythology or history?
There's no such gap if we're talking just about storytelling games or story-based games. But if we indulge the topic mythology, there's a big gap in it because see, there are many games right now as well that's based on mythology, Indian mythology. But all those games usually focus on mythology, on the story,
right,
on the rigid story that someone won't say this, that, etc., etc. But if you know about a game, there's a game of Wukong that became really famous in the past. Right. That game became so famous. Why? One, the story wasn't rigid. They weren't afraid of
experimenting.
Experimenting plus idiotic opinions of people, right? And the third reason was they focused on the game. Their motive, that mythology storytelling motive, was secondary motive. That was a secondary motive. The primary motive was that people or the users or the gamers would enjoy the game. Right. But in India, it's the opposite. We usually focus primarily on the mythological story instead of the gameplay, the mechanics, the environment, the game design, and everything. That's the biggest gap.
Right. Also, I think in India there's this problem of cultural. People question whether you've done something right because mythology is closely related to religion in India.
Right. So, and it's not just about the single question. Let's say I'm telling you about my game. This is my game. This is based on Ramayana. Let's say, and you say, no, I don't think it will be a hit. It's nothing like that. Right. The talks reach courts. Right. The politics involved. So it's a hectic in India right now.
Okay, so while we are, we now will keep in mind to build Indian stories with gamification, particularly because we're starting with ready, so we'll keep gamification in mind first. So it is the tech and the gaming that matters a lot more than the story does, according to you. So while we're building a foundation on gaming, we want zero competitive mechanics. So basically we want it to be personal. A lot of people who came to us and when we asked them, they were like, okay, but I want reading to be a leisure activity. I don't want it to be I don't want to be forced into reading per se. So is that a viable philosophy for something that roots from gaming, or does it kill the whole retention?
Alright, so competitive gaming is just one part. Every game should, and usually every hit game usually includes just one thing that makes it successful, which is a grateful progression in the game. Right, there are many cozy type, relaxing type games. Even I'm making a cozy type game. Right, all of those games only include a smooth, generous progression in it. That you usually unlock this area, the next area, the next area. You upgrade your vehicle, let's say, or the player. You using those coins or EXP, you buy stuff. Right. So all that progression is what matters, and competitive gaming is also a progression in itself. That if we talk about CSGO or Valorant, those are competitive games, right?
Shooter games in general.
FPS games usually end up being competitive games, right? Right. So except Destiny 2, etc. So in those games, let's say I'm on silver rank or gold rank, right? You are on maybe a diamond rank or platinum rank. So that's our progression, right? I have played this much, but yet I'm still at silver. You have played only this much, but you are still at platinum. Right. That's our progression, our personal progression that we like to tell, and that tell our friends, and that becomes competitive. Initially, it's not competitive; it's progression.
Okay, so it's like the competitiveness comes in as a secondary thing.
It's a complementary thing, right?
Okay, that's interesting. I think even we were planning to integrate levels onto it that were based on personal progression, so this would be a great example.
The only catch here is, if we talk about your novel startup. So the progression or the gamification should be the primary thing.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
primary goal here is to engage users instead of reward them coins maybe.
Yeah.
The reward should be on Google,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So it's like unlocking eventually. So once you read this, you also get this, the reward
Yep.
system.
Yep. Because that's what counts. That's what will be counted as progression
Okay.
in your case.
Right. Okay, got it. Thank you. In your opinion, is there a risk adding, we were talking about this just now before the interview started, is there a risk that adding game mechanics to reading actually cheapens the whole reading experience? You were talking about it on digital novels in comparison to what South Korea and Japan are building. And will it make, in your opinion, if you do not read per se physical novels, would this make reading a more daunting task? Or if it does, then how do we protest against?
No, see, the purpose of gamification is to engage users, right?
Right.
So it won't make the whole experience hard. You have to think of from a user's perspective instead of a designer, developers, or maybe a founder's perspective.
Right.
So even if we look at Zomato, everyone knows what Zomato, right?
Right.
Even Zomato hires a game developer
Hmm.
to gamify their experience.
Right.
No one would think, what gamification would it require, right? But there is gamification, right? We apply coupons, we earn, EXPs and etc. things. So
Also, just little texts that come at you at the right time. I
Right.
think it's a mixture of marketing and
right.
gamification.
Exactly.
So, in your opinion, it's a positive impact.
It's a positive. It's always a positive impact. Even if we look at let's say movies,
Right.
what are games? Games are just experience,
Right.
right? You experience a game, whether it's competitive, it's progressive, or maybe cozy, whatever it is, right? Movies are exactly like that. It's an experience, right? And even in movies, there's gamification. If you look at it from another perspective, there's a flow, proper flow to a movie, right?
Right.
Suspense, let's say, then maybe climax, etc. Right?
Right.
There's a proper flow about it. That's why Christopher Nolan's movies are so famous,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So it's always positive.
Okay.
It's always positive.
And since you have a positive outlook towards it, what part do you think the reading product or the reading app that we're building, what part of it should we start building the game? So let's just say I have this amount of thing, I have this amount of, either I have user experience with me, I have acquired certain things from the users, and now I'm like, okay, now I know that a game is going to work after this. So what we were doing is that novel is the prequel to the game. You read the novel, you get a plot of it. Where the novel ends, that's where the game begins. So when should we start building this game, proper game, RPG?
Simultaneously.
We should start it at the start, like एकदम शुरू से.
एकदम शुरू से it should be simultaneously, because अगर आप उसको बाद में वो करते हो, involve करते हो, फिर dev करते हो, development करते हो उसका, and फिर add करते हो, then you won't be able to connect it that smoothly. Okay, the gaming experience or the gamification won't be connected with your novel that smoothly.
Okay.
Right, you'll have to experiment a lot. Let's say your novel or whatever that app will be or the platform will be, it takes 2 months,
Right.
let's say,
Yeah.
for a single novel
Yeah.
to create that experience.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you decide that this novel is working, this particular novel is working, you want to do gamification in it.
Yeah.
You'll need to have 2 more months into it.
Okay. Yeah, because obviously developing a whole game. So gamification.
But if you do simultaneous, both things simultaneous, you may end up only using 3 months or maybe 2 months in fact.
All right.
Because they are literally progressing together, right? The gamification and the novel thing.
Yeah.
Let's take that example again, the first one that I gave you, that EXP one, right? You unlock, you read a chapter, then you unlock something, right? This idea can only come up if we are talking about at the same table where we have nothing at the moment.
Okay.
Where we have to create everything from scratch. That means we have to do novel and gamification both from the start.
All right, that's very interesting because till now, when we had spoken to a lot of people, they were like, obviously, this is a question that comes up. Also, it's like developing a game particularly because gamification reading experience is different from the game, an entire game that we're developing.
No, see, your novel platform is going to be gamified.
Yeah, that's one experience. ठीक है, मैंने novel Yeah, then you add what your XP and all your character cards and everything is there. That's the experience. Once the novel ends, then we develop an RPG. So it's full blown game.
RPG about that novel?
Yeah, like I said, the novel ends. जहाँ पे उसका plot खत्म हुआ, वहाँ से there is an RPG. That's where the story develops. So it can be a standalone novel, as a lot of people read. And if the person is a gamer, or we eventually then move into the gaming market, and then we get to it.
You should still do it simultaneously.
Right.
You should still do it simultaneously, I think.
All right. So
because let's say I meet a stranger.
Right.
I tell him this is my novel. This is its game. You can try both.
Okay.
One perspective. That person will perceive it like yeah, I can either play a game or read a novel. Right, and I have the liberty and I should check it out.
Right.
Second person, I go to him and just tell him that this is my novel and you can read it here.
Okay.
Done. Nothing new, nothing special.
Right.
We are in 2026 after all, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it's
everyone demands something
new. Right, absolutely. And a question that my CTO has been asking for a very long time: what engine would you recommend for a narrative game? Unity or Unreal?
There are many engines.
Yeah.
All right. There are not just Unity and Unreal Engine. There is Godot.
Yeah.
There is RPG Maker.
Okay.
And there is Unity.
Yeah.
If we are talking specifically about RPG narrative storytelling, such kind of game, such kind of games, then absolutely Unity.
Unity.
I would not recommend Unreal Engine at all.
Okay.
First of all, there's technical issue.
Okay.
Unreal Engine can't run on WebGL. I mean websites.
Right.
All right, and phone versions are not that much. It has come a long road, but still it has not become that capable of running smoothly on phones, mobile phones, smartphones.
All right.
Okay, so Unity,
hands down.
hands down Unity or Godot or RPG Maker. RPG Maker because there's this genre, if you know about it, visual novels in games.
Okay.
So many games are made from visual novel games are made from RPG Maker.
All right.
Because it's quite simple using to make a game using RPG Maker. We are talking about specifically visual novels and such.
All right, keep in mind. And we're talking about budgets, and this is the question I wanted to ask. What does a realistic budget look like for a small, particularly transmedia? That's what we're building, but narrative game.
See, we are in India.
Right.
Okay. And
quite a humbling experience.
India, the finance is something that everyone struggles with in gaming industry because every scale matters. Why? See, if I have to open a studio or I have to make a game, let's say I have to make this type of game, which will take 6 months. It's a FPS game, FPS competitive game. So I'll have to hire people, let's say 4-5 people. 2 artists, 1 game designer, 1 game developer, and 1 server optimization person who optimizes the server and everything.
Right.
Okay, manages the cloud stuff. So if we hire 5 people, and if all of them are from India, it will cost us around 8 to 10 lakhs max. Okay, but we are talking about 6 months. Okay, but if we hire from outside from India, it will cost more. Obviously. And why that question arises that should we hire people from outside? That depends on the scale of the game. Okay, there's this game, Age Untold, was it? And no, not Age Untold, it was Bharat of Age, something like that.
Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah, I was reading about it.
I forgot the name.
Amish Tripathi, Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah. So it's Amitabh Bachchan and the founder from UK or London. I forgot. So they are making this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Age of Bharat, I believe.
Age of Bharat. right. Age of Bharat. So that's that game. Okay. And even their trailer, if you look at the trailer, there's this world-class famous company in Europe that makes trailers for games, and it's world-class, I'm telling you. Okay. Even they had to make a trailer from there. Okay. And not just that, for artists and game design, many people hire from outside. Why? Because India only have key programmers Okay.
Not a lot of storytelling involved, even in the creative section.
Why? Because in India, usually hyper casual games run,
Yeah.
right? Even if we look at Play Store,
Mhm.
okay, Play Store is filled with hyper casual games and copy games,
Yeah.
copycat games, literally. So that's that.
I think-
India has a lack of talent as of now. What I believe.
Right.
Okay, why? Because there's no exposure right now.
Mhm.
Okay, so
The new whole AVGC framework that's coming, the animation, VFX, gaming.
AVGC is what is trying to do what they did with IIT
Right.
back in their days.
Yeah.
Okay, so IIT is an organization, if you guys know about it. So they opened IITs in multiple cities,
Mhm.
states
Mhm.
to graduate people and to show that this much graduation people have done and this much the research is going on in the
Right.
field. Likewise, they are doing it with what was the name of the college? IICT, Indian Institute of Creative Technology.
Hmm.
Okay, and that's run by AVGC.
आईआईटीफिकेशन हो रहा है अभी इंडिया में.
आईआईटीफिकेशन हो रहा है इस फील्ड के अंदर, क्रिएटिव फील्ड के अंदर, गेम प्ले, एनिमेशन, सीजीआई के अंदर.
Yeah, because I've never spoken to anybody about AVGC in particular, and whatever we do, I have a newsletter, so I have to write for it weekly, and I look up for it. Either way, there's no news for it in India. So even when I dig through AVGC to find something, it's very theoretical in nature. I mean, I don't see a lot of execution for it, and I don't see people coming up and stepping forward and being happy and proud about this finally showing up in India. So I think that gap is there to bridge. The government has to figure it out.
If we talk about talents, India has talent,
Hmm.
have talent. Okay, there are many games, there are many super games that are very aesthetic, very good looking, but they don't get financial aid either from governments, from VCs, from investor angels, anything. Why? There's this event IGDC.
Hmm.
All right, if we go to IGDC, there's an event, very big event of India. Okay. It usually happens in either Hyderabad or Chennai. This time it happened in Chennai. It organizes sub-events. Basically, it's a game showcase event. Okay, it organizes sub-events like game jam and an investor showcase expo, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, where you expo your game and investors come. Those investors just look at whether your game is a mobile game or a PC game. First of all, if it's a mobile game, they'll look at you. If it's PC console game, they won't even look at it.
But that's such a sad story because the people want to get into this and they don't have anywhere to go.
India has this perception, no, that games are bad in the first place.
Right.
So all the big VCs, let's say, big investors and everyone, big corporates, let's say, in general, they are people above 35-40 right now.
Yeah.
They are not 80-70% open to games yet. They have this perception, gaming market will boom, AR market will boom, but
I feel like this is what's going to happen this is what happened with AI per se. Everybody, China and USA, we read this in a book, we had a defense for it. And it was talking about how India gets really excited about things and it's like a child, you give it candy and then they're like, okay, nice candy, and then they throw it away. I think India has this very big problem of over-romanticization at the start and not holding it up and actually executing it. The IITification of things.
Exactly.
Even right now, I think people do not idealize IIT, even in urban areas. Definitely rural areas still have that IIT, UPSC wali mentality. But
I'll tell you a story. When I was in college,
Yeah.
I met this friend, which I met online first of all. So I met this friend. We talked, we were in first year, so we obviously talked. This college में आया admission, इस college में. He said, मुझे बस IIT के बारे में पता था. उसके आगे मुझे कोई कॉलेज नहीं पता था. उसके बाद मुझे फिर प्राइवेट कॉलेज 2-3 पता थे. उनमें से मुझे मेरिट सही लगा, मैंने मेरिट एडमिशन. That's what he said. उसको DTU भी नहीं पता था. IP, DTU and any other public college के बारे में उसको पता ही नहीं था.
it's kind of like, when I studied journalism and I come across news, it's kind of like an innate frustration that you start to figure out there's not a lot of things that we can do on the other side of it. I think that holding gets very political right now, but holding people in charge responsible for what they're supposed to do is very important step. Maybe hopefully our generation kind of steps up with it. Getting back to this, I think we were talking about international like Wukong and everything, but the best transmedia worlds, transmedia is, in case anyone doesn't know, media that spans across multiple formats like Marvel and The Witcher. They make you feel like every medium has something different. So you'll miss out if you don't look at it. Comics have something different, the games have something different. And what do you think is the design principle behind it? And do you think that we can achieve that with an Indian story?
We can definitely achieve it with Indian story. And as I was saying about the talents, India has great animators these days. These days, great animators are coming out. There's this studio. If the industry people are looking, they may know about it. Future Animations.
Okay.
They featured in Shark Tank as well. So they animate really well. Okay, they have really good animators, and but that storytelling experience, how to actually narrate a really good story, is still missing.
Right.
If you have noticed, I don't know if you have noticed, Bahubali 1, Bahubali 2, they were sequel, right? The story was good, the VFX was good in both the movies.
Yeah.
The only missing part was sound effects in Bahubali 2, which made it downgrade the experience.
Right. So someone who has like a lot of experience like you must have noticed. Like for me, example, I was very small when Bahubali came out, in my opinion. I think I don't remember much. I think I remember the plot over the top of my head. But if I were to look back, and now that you've told me, I'll watch it. Or as a mass comm student, I'll notice these little things. Or even when you talk about, I mean, if we could link it to remakes in Bollywood, all the 1, 2, 3, 4, Houseful 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you could have. I think there could have been something instead of just pouring brain rot into content and not narrating the story appropriately.
So recently, in the past 2-3 years, what's happening in the whole India's movie industry, film industry, that a lot of North and South collaborations are coming out.
Right.
And have come down.
Yeah.
Right. Have come out. So, but those collaborations weren't that hit. Why? North people and North movies have a different perspective. They like to show drama, yet they don't, glorify that action that much, that slow-mo that every South Indian movie has, every Tollywood movie has. But whereas the South movies, they have usually action movie, but they just for the audience, Zabardasti put that romanticizing thing, the romance thing.
Yeah.
Okay, put a heroine, the song, item song.
Hero saves heroine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Usual.
Yeah. So a lot of movies, like I think 70-80% movies that were collaborations of North and South, they were in that hit because both the perspectives are different. So back to our question, movies or animations or maybe serials, maybe dramas, those, the web novels, right? Web novels, digital novels, and every kind of novel. Both, like I'm a user, I'm reading a novel, and the next day I'm watching its movie. The person is the same, right? But my perspective while having both the experience are different. Will be different.
Right. So
no matter what. No matter what. That's why this happens a lot in anime industry. If I don't know if you know about it, but first of all, manga comes out or a novel comes out.
Right.
Novel. If the novel came out first, then it converts to the manga or webtoon, and that gets adaptation to the animation, the anime, right? Let's say an anime has three versions, anime, that manga, 3 adaptations. I mean, anime, manga, and the novel. Both, the 3 of the stories will be different.
Right. I mean, I've read AOT's manga. And I have watched AOT. I didn't watch season 4 part 2 because I was like, I know what's gonna happen. Maybe I should not refrain from watching it.
And the story will be different.
Exactly. It feels different though. I think it's like 2 different experiences. Even if the plot is the same.
Right. If we talk about a very famous one, Solo Leveling one.
Right.
It's novel is entirely different, sort of, from the anime adaptation. In an anime, they have focused on aura building. Why? Because people like to, watch that hype.
Cater to the customer at the end of the day.
Exactly.
But I think a lot of this is like adaptation. Even Marvel, up to a certain level, is an adaptation of what has happened in the comics, and then they take the creative liberty to see what the movie
You
audience
can
wants.
take actually Marvel's example as well. Marvel comics have a lot of versions.
Yeah,
Each character have
multiple
gotten
stories.
multiple stories, right? But in Marvel, just one story.
One story, one plot, one linear plot that.
Yeah.
Right. So we have the last question, and what's the most common mistake that first-time non-gamer founders make when they are entering the gaming industry?
There are two types of people.
Right.
One, they focus on tech, entirely tech. They leave everything, marketing, the talks, the conferences, to another person.
Right.
Second type of person is someone who focus on marketing.
Right.
Marketing, VCs, let's say, investors, meetups, conferences, PR, etc. And they'll literally just leave tech and everything behind. Okay. But in game dev, the founder should be involved in both of them.
Okay. Right.
There's a really good example of a person. I don't know if I should name him. Nikhil Manakar. Okay. He is still, but not. I'm not updated about this. Making a game, basically GTA Vice City or maybe GTA game based on Mumbai. That's what he marketed.
Right.
Okay, Mumbai Gullies, its name.
Yeah.
Okay. He totally focused on PR and everything. The game lagged behind.
Right.
The gaps started coming out.
Yeah.
And everything messed up. Okay. First, a non-gaming, like my advice would be first focus on your game. Specifically game mechanics.
Okay.
Specifically game mechanics, because there's a literal lack in India that they don't usually focus on game mechanics that much.
Right.
There are 2-3 games that are coming out. There's this company Psych Interactive. I don't remember the proper name. They are making a car game and they literally focus on game mechanics first. That's why their game is actually pretty outside of India.
Right.
Okay. So first game mechanics and the total game. Afterwards, they should focus on both.
Right.
The game and the PR stuff.
Okay.
Okay, they should never leave behind the game stuff to their, let's say, co-founder, maybe to the teams, their team leads. Never.
Okay.
Especially in gaming field, gaming industry. Okay, it will be total mess. I'm telling you, it will be a total mess. A game which should take 6 months, let's say, or a year, or 1.5 years, it may take up to 8 or 10 years even. Still, the game won't be finished. It will take that level of mess. Nikhil Mankar had approx let's say 5, because of his situations, 5 crore of funding. Okay, he burned it out. In the starting, he burned it out for the office, for the hardware and everything, for hiring. And afterwards, he got busy in VCs, with investors, with meetings, with etc. stuff. And no one was there to really deep down focus on that studio, the game and everything. And till date, they are stumbling. Yeah, let's switch to Unity, let's switch to Unreal Engine. Now we are hiring these. For this kind of lack of talent, etc.
Clarity of direction is the most important of all, and then you have to be a part of what you're building.
Exactly.
All right. So this was a very interesting conversation. Lovely insights. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching House of Nauras. See you next time.